right now is engagement. And I think it's really important for my work to be engaging with the audience past a visual level. I talked a lot about, in my artist statement, about the experience of a painting rather than just physically looking at something. It's what you feel and the perspective you kind of gauge from looking at a painting that's become really, really important to me, not only from my own experiences, um, going to school and walking through everyday life and kind of navigating the climate that we are in right now. Um, but how the viewer engages with my art is very, very important. And so, kind of that gaze, um, the gaze of the figure, kind of engaging with the viewer is very important because it kind of holds them accountable for viewing that work. It makes them question, their purpose for viewing it and why they're there. I recently got to do an awesome mural with Land Studio in Cleveland, and just being on site and seeing it up and actually getting to engage with people who are viewing the mural, or kind of hearing some of the feedback from people who have seen the mural and really felt connected to it has been really, really important. And I think it kind of affirms the idea that I'm trying to get at by having work that is not only to be looked at, but to be engaged with. I think one of the amazing things about Akron in particular is there are always programs around that you can join. There's always somebody that can teach you something. And these lessons always come kind of full circle. I took painting lessons at a Corona gallery during high school, and Darlene is somebody who, kind of calls me and gives me advice about how to handle my professional practices. I also did a bunch of other programs growing up, and they weren't necessarily teachers that I had in high school, but that's how I met a lot of local faculty and local artists that have really affected my practice. One of my good memories, I will say, is my mom buying Christmas presents for me had ran into a teacher, Mr. Shete, at Packatans when that was still a thing. And she was going to buy me this large painting set. And he was like, no, buy her the 5-color one. She needs to learn color theory. And to this day, that is the way that I learned color theory. So it just kind of goes to show that even in little aspects, you're always learning something. You're always learning something from local artists. And so I guess I'm just very thankful for those programs and being able to be a part of them and meet so many people, because I think that not only the networking aspect, but just the kind of idea that your community raises you is very, very important. This was kind of perfect timing to come to understand how I would operate within that system. And then I think a lot of artists are just becoming a lot more deeply connected with themselves. I saw someone's post today and they're like, you're trying to make the same art you made before the pandemic, but without realizing that you're a completely different person than you were before you went in. And I think it's important to kind of acknowledge how you've changed and how fast that change happened and how deeply that settled in. So I think a lot of artists are just taking out a newer sense of self. And even though there's not a complete grasp of it yet, it's kind of learning to navigate and grasp what has come out. What has come out of the pandemic.